president is on her state visit in the UK, leaders of the two countries have made a flurry of agreements and pledged to double bilateral trade by 2020. Korean food is also making waves in the UK, leaving its mark on the famously global British palate. And with a reputation for efficient, high-quality service, Korea's medical tourism industry is growing fast. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's a Thursday, November 7th. I'm Luke Clary. On President Park Geun-hye's state visit to the UK, leaders of the two countries have made a dizzying number of cooperative agreements, pledging to double bilateral trade by 2020.
President Park Geun-hye and British Prime Minister David Cameron held a summit yesterday. They adopted a joint statement confirming the two countries' partnership.
글로벌 이슈까지 같이 협력해 나가기로 그래서 어떤 포괄적 창조적 파트너십을 발전시켜 나가기로 했습니다.
How we cooperate more in creative industries and culture, how we cooperate with these great sporting events coming up in your country.
The two heads of state agreed to double bilateral trade by 2020. From this, trade between Korea and the UK will increase from the current $11.3 billion to $20 billion, while investment will surge from $22.8 billion to $45 billion. The two leaders also agreed to cooperate in the financial sector. They will set up a financial cooperation committee comprised of representatives of private and government sectors to help the financial institutions from each nation establish a presence in the other nation and jointly debut in a third country as well. The two leaders signed an MOU for providing $3 billion in financial support. Korea and the UK also concluded a nuclear energy pact that raises South Korean companies' chances of winning bids for nuclear power plants and agreed to jointly develop technologies for shutting down nuclear facilities. Prime Minister Cameron also expressed his support for Seoul's North Korea policies by saying that North Korea's nuclear program is absolutely unacceptable.
Politics and economics are not the only areas of exchange between Korea and the UK. Hansik, or Korean cuisine, is leaving its mark on the already globalized British palate.
Many British people stand in line to try bulgogi and bibimbap, both of which are signature Korean dishes. Some of them even put kimchi and other Korean food products into their shopping baskets.
I want the mild one, not very hot.
Korean food has become quite popular in the UK. The corporation of the UK's largest supermarket chain simultaneously held a Korean food fair at its branches all over London. The scale of the Korean food fair, the third of its kind, has expanded more than 50 times from the first time it was held. The number of items put on display has also more than doubled from 3 years ago.
Just in the last year, sales of Korean products have more than doubled. That shows you how popular Korean products are with our customers. They like the taste, they like new flavors, and that's why we've expanded it.
British people enjoy a pot of hot, spicy Korean soup, as well as galbi, which is barbecued beef. British people account for 85% of this Korean restaurant in London. This Korean restaurant's daily sales stands at over $14,000. It will open its second branch in the first half of next year, only 2 years after the first store opened.
한국의 식문화를 좀 더 체험하고 느끼고 즐길 수 있는 저희 장터 문화를 영국에 보급할 계획입니다.
In the UK, the sales of Korean food products and at Korean restaurants more than doubled last year. Korean instant noodles, called ramyeon, are available at convenience stores and neighborhoods. The UK is the largest market for processed foods in Europe. Its annual market value is more than $80 billion. Korean food is captivating the taste buds of the British people.
Prosecutors on the trail of a missing 2007 Inter-Korean Summit transcript called in the Democratic Party's Moon Jae-in, who denied the investigators' allegations over 9 hours of questioning.
Amid cheers from his supporters, Democratic Party Representative Moon Jae-in came out of the prosecutor's office. He returned home 9 hours after appearing before the prosecution for questioning over the alleged disappearance of the 2007 Inter-Korean transcripts. Moon said that he sincerely answered the prosecutor's questions. He added his answers could help them properly understand the former government's document management system.
검사들이 이지원 문서 관리 시스템하고 그다음에 이 기록물 이관에 대해서 좀 충분한 이해가 없는 것 같았는데.
Prosecutors focused their questions on why the first draft of the transcript was deleted and the revised one not transferred to the National Archives of Korea. Prosecutors also grilled Moon about whether he was involved in the alleged missing of the summit minutes and whether former President Roh Moo-hyun issued any instructions on the matter. In response, Moon explained that the first draft was deleted after a revision had been written and the failure to transfer the revised transcript was a simple mistake. Before appearing for the investigation, Moon criticized the prosecution of being unfair, biased, and insisted that the nature of the scandal is based on the National Intelligence Service and the ruling Saenuri Party's illegal use of the transcript for last year's election. Prosecutors will soon announce the results of their investigation into the scandal.
More and more people are taking their mobile phone security more seriously. The court has sentenced one eavesdropper with hard time for tapping others' phones using a smartphone application.
This text message includes an unfamiliar internet address. The moment you click on it, a wiretapping application is automatically installed on your phone. Everything you say on the phone is overheard by the person who sent the message.
실제로 현재도 모바일 악성 코드가 계속 꾸준히 급증하고 있고 그중에 녹음 기능이라든지 이런 것도 포함되어 있는 것들이 있기 때문에.
This man, identified only by his family name Choi, was caught for bugging other people's phones in return for money. The court of first instance gave him a probation, but the court of appeal sentenced him to 1.5 years in prison and put him under court custody. The court said in its verdict that the man deserves strict punishment for causing anxiety and fear in others over privacy intrusions.
금전적 대가를 받고 사생활의 비밀을 침해할 목적으로 악성 스마트폰용 도청 앱의 설치를 계획적 반복적으로 했다는 점에서 죄질이 좋지 않다고 판단한 것으로 보입니다.
It's the first case of punishing someone for wiretapping using a smartphone application. Anyone who wiretaps other people's phone conversations, even without getting money in return, can be punished under the Protection of Communications Secrets Act.
With a reputation for efficient, high-quality service, Korea's medical tourism industry is growing fast. Experts say the government needs to devise policies to handle the industry.
Dubai is often called the New York of the Middle East. This Korean hospital specializing in spinal disorders opened here 2 years ago. Its sales have tripled annually over the past 3 years, while the number of its patients has doubled. A growing number of foreigners are coming to Korea to receive healthcare services on the worldwide popularity of Korea's advanced medical technologies. This couple from Abu Dhabi is receiving infertility treatment at a hospital in Seoul.
تم اختيار كوريا لأنها واحدة من الدول المتقدمة المشهورة في علاج الحالات المستعصية كالعقم.
Some of the high-profile patients are members of royal families. The scope of their spending is enormous.
한 번에 오셔서 한 5천만 원에서 8천만 원 정도까지 쓰시고 가시는 분들도 있으세요. 줄기세포 뱅킹이라든가.
The Catholic University Hospital even has rooms where Muslim patients from the Middle East can pray. The biggest advantage of Korean medical services lies in their promptness. It takes just 3 hours to get a comprehensive health checkup, something that's hard to find in any other country. But last year, Korea attracted fewer patients than Thailand and Singapore. About 159,000 patients visited Korea, whereas Thailand saw 1.5 million and Singapore 720,000. Experts are calling for maximizing convenience for foreign patients by expanding lodging facilities and developing medical tour packages that include hotel stays.
Korea's president is a woman, so currently there is no first lady, but historically the president's spouse served as diplomatic representative and other important roles. An exhibition on historic first ladies is now underway.
First Lady Francesca cuts her birthday cake with a shy smile. First Lady Yuk Young-soo makes clothes to help those in need. First Lady Son Myung-soon serves as a diplomatic representative on an overseas trip. First Lady Lee Hee-ho volunteers her time.
우리들하고 같이 이렇게 살았구나 싶은 마음 드네요.
These photos offer glimpses into the private lives of the nation's first couples. Their personal belongings and handwritten letters are also on display. Some 130 photos and items related to the former First Ladies are on display at an exhibition held by the National Archives of Korea. The exhibition shows the hidden aspects of the First Ladies' lives.
또 국민들의 어려운 삶을 보살피셨던 따뜻한 우리나라 어머니의 모습.
The exhibition will run through November 17th at Cheongnam-dae, a former presidential vacation home.
A globally renowned migratory bird site in Korea's South Chungcheong province is already host to tens of thousands of birds here for winter, some of them quite rare.
Tens of thousands of geese take flight from empty rice paddies. The birds line up and fill up the sky. Such a scene can only be seen in Cheonsu Bay at this time of year. The endangered Eurasian spoonbills have already settled down at the bank. They hunt for food by swaying their beaks in the water. There are only around 10,000 hooded cranes left in the world. Around 200 of them have come to Cheonsu Bay to rest. About 150,000 migratory birds have already arrived to spend the winter here. The rare oriental stork and whooper swan are expected to arrive as well. Up to 200,000 birds are expected to arrive by the end of this month.
넓은 농경지에서 많은 낙곡들이 나와서 먹이원이 풍부하고요. 또 호수 내에 넓은 모래톱이 있어서 새들이 잠자기에 아주 좋은 환경을 지니고 있습니다.
However, the number of migratory birds that used to visit, which reached 500,000 at one point, has decreased to less than half after surrounding fields began to be rented out, leaving fewer leftover grains for them to eat.
Over 500,000 young Koreans are pinning their hopes on today's college entrance exams. Young entertainers who perform to sell out crowds around the world are not exempt from this tough test.
After school's gone, A-Pink's Kim Nam-ju and Five Dolls' Haewon and Eun-gyo are all stars who took the college entrance exam today. Meanwhile, many celebrities were rooting for exam takers. Boy band Teen Top released a video to show their support. Girl group Crayon Pop performed in front of the Opera House in Sydney and received a good response from local citizens. Hundreds gathered to see the singers and their street performance. Crayon Pop has also drawn many older male fans after appearing in a singing contest. After Australia, the group is planning to hold concerts in Asia.
If you have a child in middle school, you'll know that around 8th grade can be considered the toughest time for parents. Here's a look at why adolescence hits the hardest in 8th grade and what to do about it. This family has an 8th grade daughter. Cameras installed in the home follow her daily moves. She doesn't put down her smartphone for even a second. Her mother tries to talk with her, but it's no ordinary mother-daughter talk.
내가 무슨 답으로 이렇게 사는데 네가 이렇게 행동해. 조금 키워주지 말았던가요. 다시 옛날로 돌아가고 싶다 진짜.
The girl ducks into her room to dodge the conversation.
딱히 언제부터 시작이 됐다고는 할 수 없는데 최근 한 1년 정도부터 심해진 것 같아요. 대화를 안 하려고 그러고 핸드폰, 컴퓨터만 보고요. 연예인에 빠져 있고 짜증이 아주 심하고요. 사소한 일에도 아주 심하고 그러네요.
The daughter has her defense. She says she hates it when her mom tries to meddle in her business, so she eventually just quit talking with her.
그냥 무관심이 날 것 같아요. 제가 원할 때 남들한테 다가가고 싶어요. 남이 저한테 막 오는 것도 아니고 남이 저 피하는 것도 아니고 그냥 딱 제가 원할 때 갈 수 있게. 그러면 행복할 것 같아요.
Adolescents face emotional highs and lows as they go through puberty. The most serious cases are colloquially called 8th grade syndrome.
중학교 때 되게 되면은 생각이 이제 여물게 되면서 현실을 갖다 깨닫게 되게 되거든요. 그렇기 때문에 이제 현실과 이상 사이에서 이제 그 간격이 벌어지게 돼요. 그런 그 간격을 갖다 메우기 위해서 어떤 행동을 하게 되거든요. 그래서 이제 그 행동이 허세로도 나타나고 우울함으로 나타나고 또 이제 과장되게 표현되기도 되고 그렇죠.
From the parent's perspective, the child acts out with senseless, erratic behavior or becomes obsessed with appearance. The situation can even lead to school violence. Development of self-control doesn't always keep up with a fast-growing body, and violent behavior can be the result. Trouble in the 8th grade is not unique to Korea. In the U.S., there are also sensitive, tight-lipped teens who may even appear to have depression.
중2병이라고 하는 거는 결국 타인이 나를 어떻게 바라볼까에 이제 시선을 갖다 본인이 그걸 의식하기 시작했는데 아직 그게 감당이 안 되기 때문에 어설프게 나타나는 거거든요. 부모님은 그 낯선 아이의 모습 자체도 우리 아이의 새로 나타나는 모습이라고 생각하고 기다려주고 보다듬어 주다가 보면은 좋은 해결이 날 수 있다고 생각합니다.
Experts say the symptoms are quite natural due to the development gap between the mind and body. The best way to handle these kids is to keep your faith, encourage them, and engage them in steady conversation. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great day.